boxing, and to swimming. Everything we bring, everything sports is on the show. So let's start off from this quote by American swimmer Michael Phelps. He says, if you want to be the best, you have to do things that other people aren't willing to do. So if you want to be the best, you have to do things that other persons or people aren't willing to do. And then we start off from politics. Yes, it's paused, but let's start off from politics because former president or presidential candidate for the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, has promised another stadium. Yes, and this time he was speaking in the Oti region and he told them that, see, when I come, I'll build a new stadium for you. Right, so well, let's get that sound for you. Former President John Dramani Mahama speaking. He promised the people of Oti a new stadium when he comes or he becomes president. Now let's get to listen to former president or who is the presidential candidate for the National Democratic Congress.
Namekasa Mirie, I was a region Bia Enya Sports Stadium. Enti nyame adomanti yebesi sports stadium ewo Oti region ha.
All right, so former President John Dramani Mahama, who is the candidate, yes, he is leading the National Democratic Congress into this elections and he's promised another stadium. Okay, now let's move to the Ghana Premier League because yesterday we saw Legon Cities in action and they beat Young Apostles by 2-0. Goals were scored in the 20th minute in the first half, and then in the 90th plus 4 minutes, Legon Cities made it 2. So Legon Cities are back, trust me, and this means that they have moved from the bottom of the Ghana Premier League table and now lie 16th. Yes, 16th, and 8 points for Legon Cities. Well, Parkwesi Fabian was a happy man after the game.
This is a lot of good because you played about 8 matches and you don't win at all, and then all of a sudden we start winning, and it's a good feeling. I hope it will continue like this for us.
All right, so that's the turnaround after the Kotoko game. Now we're going to see Legon Cities winning more games in the Ghana Premier League.
We hope so.
All right, so your next game, another difficult game. You're traveling to Samaboy against Samates. What should we expect?
We hope the match would have been on camera for everybody to see.
Well, Parkwesi Fabian believes that their next game should be on camera so that everyone can see. And for coach of Young Apostles, Joseph Asare, he complained about officiating.
You see, I can say any like small tackle, the referee blow against us. You can see for yourself. I was even talking to your man the other time at Brooklyn. Coach Parkwesi Fabian was complaining about the referees. Now see today, see how he handled the match. You can't just it's not like that in football. You have to be fair to all the teams.
So you think officiating was bad against your side?
As a matter of fact, the officiating, everybody saw it. Advantages, there are some balls, you have advantage there, so you just blow the whistle. You think that is fair?
Then you have as coach of Young Apostles, Joseph Asare, not too happy with officiating. And on issues of officiating, Hearts of Lions head coach Bashiru Hayford has been suspended for 5 games and fined 5,000 Ghana cedis by the Ghana Football Association disciplinary committee for improper conduct. This action follows an incident during a match against Karela United where Coach Hayford confronted match officials after a 1-0 loss, leading to the Ghana Football Association condemning his behavior as unacceptable. And Hayford's absence will impact Lions in their upcoming matches against Brekum, Chelsea, Accra Lions, Legon Cities, Samatex, and then Basake Holy Stars. The GFA has warned that further misconduct could lead to harsher consequences. Well, so Coach Bashiru Hayford, his team, they beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko the last time, but then he's been suspended. Well, they can actually appeal, and if they appeal, we'll see how that goes. But for now, they have been shown some. I mean, it's bad. It's that bad. It's that bad that sometimes officiating the Ghana Premier League is that bad that you can't just sit down and not talk. So for some of the coaches, I understand them. Understand why. And you just heard Coach Joseph Asari speaking on how officiating was bad for him. So for some of these coaches, they have the right to speak, and I don't know why our FA they have to look into that, because sometimes if it goes against you, it is your job and you're going to get sacked. So if some of the officiating decisions are not too well, let us at least speak. So he's facing a 5-match ban. Okay, let's move on to the Champions League. And before we get to the Champions League, Arsenal Sporting Director Edu has resigned from his position and agreed a deal in principle to take up a role with Nottingham Forest owners Evangelos Marinakas. So precise details of the role are yet to be confirmed, and a formal deal is still to be finalized. But then Arsenal confirmed yesterday evening in a statement. So the statement reads, Edu has resigned from his position as our sporting director. Edu, our former player and Invincible, rejoined us in the role of technical director in July 2019. He progressed through the club and was promoted to sporting director in November 2022, where he oversaw men's, women's, and then academy football. We thank Edu for the part he has played in our renewed football strategy and driving the club forward with the values of Arsenal in his heart. So, Arsenal, from fire to frying pan, I mean, getting worse by the day. And the director is gone, and it's getting to a point where Arsenal are not doing too well this season. Well, let's see how things go for them. Now, Jose Mourinho has condemned refereeing standards in Turkey after his Fenerbahce side scored a 102nd minute winner to cap a dramatic game against Trabzonspor. The former Chelsea United and Spurs manager sprinted onto the pitch and attempted a knee slide as Sofian Amrabat's late goal in the stoppage time and a 3-2 victory over the weekend. However, Mourinho was unhappy with home team Trabzonspor's being awarded 2 penalties after VAR intervened. So he thought his side should have had a spot kick before Amrabat's late winner. Speaking after the game, the 61-year-old tactician slammed the Turkish league.
I didn't watch Fenerbahce matches until I came, because nobody abroad wants to watch the Turkish league. Who wants to watch this Turkish league abroad? They have the Premier League, they have the French league, they have the German league, they have the Portuguese league, they have the Dutch league. Why should they see this? I didn't. I start looking at it when I was invited to come to Turkey. And then, yes, I start looking at it, but I start looking at it in the perspective of trying to know my future players, my team. My focus was not on matches, my focus was on players, to try to know the most of them. I was told when the president met me, when the director met me, even before that, you know, that I even met other important club and respectful club in Turkey, but I couldn't believe that this was the dimension. It's too gray, it's too dark, smells bad, but that's my job, and I will give everything to my job, to my club.
Mourinho would always be the controversial one, and he's speaking there saying that no one actually wants to watch the Turkish league. Okay, now let's move on to the Champions League, because there's so much action coming in the Champions League this evening, and Sporting would face Manchester City in a mouth-watering encounter at the Stadio Jose Alvalade, and are sitting in the last automatic qualification spot on the Champions League table. Sporting manager Ruben Amorim says his side will aim to secure a positive result to avoid a drop on the league log.
For me, it's another game as a sporting coach, and I will be judged as a sporting coach. It's a massive game. For me, he's the best coach in the world. I know it's tough for Manchester United fans, and I think it's the best team in the world. So it's going to be a tough game. We are near the qualification for playoff, so this game is very important. It's my last game in Alvalade, so that is my focus. The objectives of Sporting, my last game in Alvalade. I know everybody in England are looking and taking ideas for this game, but for me it's just that. As Sporting coach, my last game here, so that is the focus.
Right, and for Pep Guardiola, he says the counter will be a different one from the Sporting side he faced 2 years ago.
I never think before the game we're going to win 4 or 5. Never. It's a different game. There was a knockout stage. He's a different statement, and our momentum for the lack of many players completely different that was in that time. It's different competition. We lost 1 game, and we have to come back to winning games, of course, but we are in early November, so many things is going to happen. Well, play quite similar like we faced 2 seasons ago. The pattern is so clear. I think they use the ball possession from back a little bit more than before. Before, you have a striker 2 years ago, a Palinha, that was most linked to him. Now Gokaris is quite similar, linked, but his movements in behind are so dangerous. The pace and the control, movements in behind for the people in front. It's quite similar patterns like the page 2 seasons. Change the players, but with the same manager, have the same mentality, and winning the.
Now to Liverpool and AC Milan, and Bayern Leverkusen, because Xabi Alonso's long-awaited Liverpool homecoming is here, and the Spaniards, Bayern Leverkusen side, will head to Anfield for an epic clash in the Champions League. The Reds have won all their first 3 matches in the group stage, but their sixth place German counterpart can leapfrog them in the 36th team table with a victory at the Merseyside. Now, Liverpool manager and Slot has been speaking ahead of the game, but then first, let's listen to Xabi Alonso, who is so excited on his return to Liverpool.
Now, for sure, it's great. After a few years to be back here, it's always special. You notice the development of the club. I see the new Anfield Road stand. It looks pretty amazing. And for sure, tomorrow we have a big game coming here, Champions League against Liverpool. They are in a great moment. It can't get much better than that, and we are looking forward for tomorrow. Okay, let's see. I will wait. I am not thinking that much. I'm more thinking about how to prepare the game, but hopefully it will be good. I'm positive.
So there you have Xabi Alonso, former Liverpool player, coming back to the Anfield this evening. Now, let me bring you all the fixtures today in the Champions League. At exactly 5:45 p.m., we'll see PSV take on Girona, and then Slovan would welcome Dynamo. Bologna take on AS Monaco. Dortmund come up against Sturm Graz, and 8 p.m. Celtic play Leipzig. 8 p.m. Lille take on Juventus. Big one tonight, Liverpool against Bayern Leverkusen. Real Madrid, another big one, coming up against AC Milan. And then for Manchester United fans, our coach Ruben Amorim will be leading his Sporting team against Manchester City for the last time in the Champions League. So Sporting come up against Manchester City in the Champions League at 8 p.m. All right, that should do it for sports this morning. My name is Jones, ADZI, the Star 103.5 FM. Don't forget to join us on the game at 1 p.m. We'll preview all the Champions League games for you, and we'll bring you some highlights from the Ghana Premier League, and some games happened yesterday in the English Premier League as well. Fulham beat Brentford by 2-1. My name is Jones, ADZI, and we outside.